Hello, Namaskar, and a very warm welcome to everyone joining us on VRIGHT Exchange, India's own and the world's first structured and verified investor engagement platform built to meaningfully connect investors, companies, analysts, and the media with one clear purpose: no noise, just value. Today, we are delighted to bring you a special edition of our Investor Access series, a knowledge led initiative focused on decoding markets, strengthening investor understanding, and highlighting long term research driven opportunities. And this episode is truly special. Welcome to a powerful edition of Leadership Conversations, Markets, and Growth Champions. And we are honored to be joined by Mr. Ajay Thakur, CEO and Managing Partner, TGI SME Capital. Mr. Thakur is widely regarded as one of the architects of India's SME capital market ecosystem. His journey reflects a deep legacy in building India's SME and startup platform at BSE. First hand experience of SME IPOs, evolution from concept to scale, a strong voice for investor education, governance, and transparency. And last not but the least, a rare ability to connect policy vision with market reality and future trends. Ajay ji, it's a privilege to have you with us on Bright Exchange. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Aryanji. It's a pleasure to interact with you on your platform.
Absolutely, sir. Very warm welcome again, and
Thank
let's
you.
start this series with questions that we have prepared for us. So, Ajayji, to begin with, after more than 3 decades in the capital markets and having played a defining role in launching India's first SME and startup platform, how do you personally reflect on this journey today? That's my first question.
This journey has been quite interesting. We have started from scratch, zero, and now the SME platform of stock exchanges have already got more than 1,300 SMEs listed. Many of the SMEs are in pipeline. Already a very vibrant ecosystem has got created. We are seeing a lot of investors participation, growing SMEs getting listed, and a lot of intermediaries getting associated with this SME platform. So the whole ecosystem has been created, and the SMEs earlier who has got only the access of debt financing now has the access of equity financing also. So SMEs are the future of India, and there is a need for their growth. And I think the SME platforms are doing their job.
All right, sir. Thank you. And so, when you look back at 2012, what are the biggest challenges in building the SME platform, and what kept you motivated to pursue this vision despite susceptibility that was there at that time, point in time?
So in fact, I will go a little bit back when in 2010, the guidelines of SME platform was, brought by Security Exchange Board of India at the behest of Government of India. And at that point of time, when there were deliberations and discussions with various stakeholders, nobody was very much, hopeful of having a vibrant SME platform in India. They have seen the failure of Overtrade Counter Exchange of India (OTCI), which was meant for SME platform. Then there was a failure of Indonext, which was again for SME companies also. So after that, launching of the SME platform was just like a formality, that because SMEs needs to be given access to the equity fund. So let us have some guidelines and let us try. So it was just an experiment, and the success of which nobody was quite sure. So from 10 to 2012, we were just deliberating, discussing, talking, and trying to bring various stakeholders into this system. But no one was ready, though there were various sessions coming. Somehow, one merchant banker who was very young and who has not done a lot of companies on the main board, just he wants to start his career. He got convinced and he said that, okay, let me venture into this ecosystem and let's try. So, on experiment basis, we have launched this SME platform on 13th March 2012. There were a lot of skepticism. Still, people were not hopeful, and no one wants to come on this in this ecosystem. With one merchant banker, we have started. So after that, also for 4 5 years, we were struggling. There was a huge support of SEBI, the MD and CEO of the exchanges, and employees of the organizations to make it a success. And everybody was working hard in that direction. We have met almost till 2017. We have met almost 20,000 SMEs across the country, have done almost 400 to 500 seminars across the country. And after that, we were able to get 200 companies listed on the SME platform. That was a little bit motivation that at least the ball is rolling. Investors have started coming, and almost by that time we have seen 10 merchant bankers coming into the SME platform, which was very encouraging. And all these merchant bankers, they have never done merchant banking before. They were new to this system, but all are charged, all were very motivated, all were ready to work hard for the success of this ecosystem. And I give a lot of credit to those merchant bankers who were, moving every corner of this country along with me and working day and night to ensure that this SMA platform becomes success. We have got huge support from SEBI. Let me tell you, SEBI at that point of time across the country with the stock exchange, they have done seminar to make the entrepreneurs aware about this SMA platform. And because of that, also we got lot of interest from the entrepreneurs. So overall, everybody has played their role in making it a success, and we are very fortunate that India has got today the vibrant SME platform, whereby a lot of SMEs are seeing a very good opportunity and option to raise funds and expand their companies. We have seen a lot of success stories, right?
All right, so that's a wonderful journey and wonderful efforts that you put in to bring this. So the next question is from 2012 to 2024. I think you sort of moved from there. What were the most significant mindset changes you observed among Indian SMEs, especially in how they view capital markets and the governance?
See, a lot of awareness has come. Okay, earlier promoters were not ready to believe, and even others were not telling them that or encouraging them to go on the SME platform. Many of them, the promoters earlier, we have seen that they were very much scared of the compliances that they have to do post listing. But slowly and slowly, as they saw many of their peer group companies getting listed, they also get motivated and they talk to those promoters perhaps, and the experience that other promoters have shared them also motivated them to go and get their company listed. Post listing, many of the promoters I have seen, they have shifted from half yearly compliance to quarterly compliance voluntarily. So that was a major shift in the mindset. We have seen almost 400 companies getting migrated onto the main board where there was quarterly compliance and there was never any failure in doing the compliance. So of course there was a big mindset. Transparency has come into the company. The promoters were ready to interact with the investors. They were going to the market. They were ready to understand the disruptions that can come from any quarter of the system ecosystem. So they want to deleverage their company. They don't want to get overburdened by only one source of funding, that is debt funding. So I think there was a major shift in the mindset of the promoters. That's why we have seen that post 23, or you can say that post 22, we have seen a lot of SMEs coming forward to get listed, and still it's going on. So as of now, even when I interact with the promoters, that fear is not seen in the minds of the promoters that they have to do compliances. So I think compliances, the worry of compliances has faded away. Promoters are ready to be transparent. They are ready to delegate the powers. They want to be transparent. They want to do all the corporate governance, whatever is there. They want to change their board. They are ready to bring the best of the talents into their business. And that was the reason that we have seen, huge growth in many of the companies post listing. Other companies, when they saw their competitors going and becoming big, they also jumped into this bandwagon, and they also got listed, and the others are following them. So now I am seeing a lot of shift in the mindset, and that is of course going to help the SMEs in a big way.
Absolutely, sir. So that's a very important perspective, especially for the first generation entrepreneurs listing in today's times. So moving to the next section, wherein we'll talk about SME IPOs and market trends. So my first question in this section is that SME IPOs have seen remarkable momentum in recent years. From your vintage, point of view, how do you assess these trends, and what are the strengths, and where do the risk lie, sir? If you could
No,
explain.
strengths are always there. See, as far as whenever the companies, there are opportunities. India is a land of opportunities. Okay, entrepreneurs always see the opportunity. Wherever they see the opportunity, they try to venture in that place. We have seen a lot of mergers, acquisitions happening also in this space. So whenever they get access with the equity funds, okay, they always try to grow and they want to grow fast. Okay, so this growth comes, and when this growth comes, the perspective of other stakeholders also changes. And when the perspective of other stakeholders changes, they also want to connect with the company, and overall, the whole system starts growing. So I think all these trends that we are seeing that has started developing is changing the whole culture into this space. We are also seeing a lot of alternative investment fund started investing into these SMEs in form of anchor investors QIP. If you see till 2020, none of the institution participated in the IPO of SME. Post 22, there was a major shift. Almost most of the issues come in the book building process. Okay, where the anchor investors have participated in big way. QIB investors have started investing in the big way. We have seen the HNI and retail started participating. So there has been a shift in the trend, and which overall brought buoyancy in the SME platform space. So I think a lot of changes has happened over the years, and for the good of the company. Of course, whenever FOMO comes, there is a need to have proper checks and balances, because at that point of time, some wrongdoings also happen. Recently, in 2024, not much back, around a year back, SEBI has made necessary changes with more and checks and balances into the SME platform space. Many of the people thought that this will be so stopper, but it has not happened like that. Okay, for some time it took a pause, but after that it has started with the same speed. So I think as the system evolves, as it will grow, as other participants will also start participating, this SME platform will keep on maturing. And as it keep on maturing with genuine investors participating, with long-term investors participating, it will totally change this landscape.
All right, sir. So that's a very nice perspective. And so moving on to our next question. So, in your experience, what governance practices must SMEs institutionalize before they even think of approaching public markets?
Let me tell you, many of these SMEs have come from tier 2, tier 3 cities. And most of the time, they are not aware about the corporate governance practices. They keep on doing the job the way it happens. And especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities, there are not much of the consultants available who can preach good governance to the promoter or who can advise the promoters to focus also on corporate governance. So I think that needs to be done. That is very important. Of course, from this channel, I would like to tell the promoters that corporate governance is very important for any company because that gives confidence to the investors, that gives confidence to the bankers, and you not only get investors in the from the equity market, but also you can get lesser interest rate from the bankers. So overall, from all sides, corporate governance is an important element in the company. It doesn't take much of the time. You need to have right systems in place. It is not a costly affair or time consuming affair. It's just its mindset. If you have that mindset of proper corporate governance, proper transparency in your results, balance sheet, PL account, have positive cash flow in your business, then all other things fall in place. So, of course, corporate governance is one thing that promoters can't avoid if they want to run their business in a long way. If they want to run, if they want to have a sustainable business model, if they want to be growth oriented, then corporate governance is the first element that they have to inculcate into their business.
All right, so many promoters worry about loss of control after listing. So, how do you explain the real value and responsibility of becoming a listed company? This is something that you can please explain to our.
I, I think lack of awareness brings all these type of fears in the minds of the promoters, because as long as the promoter is holding above 50% or 60%, there is no fear of losing the control. Okay, in many of the companies we have seen the promoters stake over the years has come down to 30%, 35%, 40%. But they have not lost the control. So investors are worried about the governance practices, about the business growth, and all other things. They are not concerned about other things. As long as the promoters are running business well, investors are not much, think about the company. Okay. So as long as the 70, because what happens when you go in IPO, you have to dilute 26.25% as far as SME platform. That is the minimum dilution. Or you can dilute up to 30% in most of the cases, what we have seen, between 35 to 30 to 26. The range is between 26%, 26.25% to 35%. This is the range in which the promoter dilute their equity. But because of that, the promoter never loses control on the company. So I don't think this is unfounded. The fear of losing the control is unfounded. They should understand that 51, as long as 51% of the company is in their control, they will never lose the control on the company. Second thing, these investors are very widely, divided. It's not that one investor has got a maximum control of the shares. No, there are thousands of investors who participates in the capital market, and then they buy equity. So not a single investor is there who has got a maximum holding of the company. So from those perspective, also the promoters should not get worried that their control on the company will be lost. So I think these are unfounded. They should be remain from the fear that they will lose control. But more than that, they should start focusing on the growth of the business and try to bring equity funding from the market. With proper debt equity ratio, they can grow their company. And if there will be growth in the company, the valuation of the company will also started growing.
Absolutely, sir. So this clarification is extremely valuable for founders at the decision-making stage. So now we move on to the next segment which is future of SMEs and startups and capital markets. So my question on this is, looking ahead, what are the biggest opportunities you foresee for Indian SMEs over the next 5 to 10 years, sir?
No, I think that we have started in 2012. Today we are sitting in 2025. When we started in 2012, we have never thought that by 2025 we are going to get more than 500 to 600 company listed onto the S&P platform. Today we have almost 1400 SMEs listed onto the SME platform, the stock exchange. In another 5 years, I feel that this speed will go up and we'll see another 2000 to 3000 SME getting listed onto the SME platform. So I think there is a huge opportunity in this space, and I see a bright future of SME platform going forward.
All right, sir. So my next question would be, what advice would you give to young founders who are preparing for early stage fundraising or SME listing?
No, they are welcome. Of course, they need to ensure that their balance sheet is strong. If their balance sheet is strong, if the business model is strong, if the promoter has right intention, and if the company is in the right sector, of course, SME platform is the right place for the SMEs to get listed. As far as the startups are concerned, still we don't have startup platform in India. Though initially it was started, but it then halted and has not grown further. But if the after taking fund from PE, VC or angel investor, if these startups grow, then we have seen a lot of startups in recent year, that is in the financial year 25 and 25, 26 getting listed on the stock exchange at a very high valuation. So of course, capital market, Indian capital market is giving the opportunity to already established a startup to get listed, unlock their value, and give returns to the earlier investors, and at the same time raise funds for their expansion. So,
Absolutely, sir.
so I think Indian capital market is well poised to take India to the next level.
Absolutely. My question, next question is, how do you see India's capital market evolving by 2030, especially for small and mid-sized companies? I mean, where do you see it going?
No, Indian capital markets, if you see, post 2020, we have already added, 12 crore investors into this capital market. The AUM of mutual funds have already crossed 90 lakh crores. Have seen almost 1300 AIFs getting registered with Security Exchange Board of India. A lot of HNI are investing in this market. So, in the years to come, not only for a small and mid cap company, but a whole capital market is looking very good, bright, and with the ease of doing business, the way the government has taken the measures of making the income tax and GST simplified, I am quite sure that capital market has acknowledged it, and it will keep on acknowledging it. And India, being the fastest growing country in the world, the capital market will also grow in the same way.
That gives a very strong long-term perspective for both investors and companies. Now let's move on to our next segment, which is verified investor communication right exchange. So today's misinformation is, in today's times, if you look at misinformation and unverified financial content or information is growing. It's a growing challenge. How serious is the issue? And from the investor perspective or investor protection perspective and market integrity standpoint.
But you have raised a very, valid question, and it's a matter of serious concern. This type of misinformation must be stopped, and those people who are spreading rumor or misinformation must be taken to task. SEBI has already started creating awareness about this use of misinformation, and along with the stock exchange at various places. Time and again, they are issuing circulars that investors should be aware about this. Stock exchange is continuously doing various shows to create awareness among the investors to avoid misinformation. So I think these things are very important, and transparency is must. I think I will suggest we write that you should also keep on having this type of awareness program.
So, Ajayji, my next question is on do you believe that platforms like VRIGHT Exchange can become essential market infrastructure, similar to how SME platforms transformed access to capital?
I think VRIGHT Exchange must move in that direction, whereby more awareness can be floated among the minds of both investors as well as promoters, because India is a country of entrepreneurs. A lot of SME entrepreneurs are there. Still, they have to come forward and get themselves associated with the SME platform. At the same time, we have to create a set of investors whereby we can provide them with right informations so that they can take right decision. I think today taking the right decision with a long-term perspective, long-term goal is very much required. And if it happens, then you will see a rapid growth in the SME space. Even the market capitalization will grow in tandem with the profitability and revenue of the company. So, in that space, I think still we are seeing vacuum, and we right can be a right platform to fill that gap.
All right, sir. Thank you. This aligns strongly with our core philosophy at Bright Exchange. Thank you so much, sir. Now let's move on to our, rapid fire section, where I'll be asking you for few questions where you'll have to rapidly give answers without thinking. All right. So let's move on to that now. And so my first question is, one SME founder or entrepreneur who has truly inspired you, sir.
No, I think many of the SMEs will not be right to name a company. I think many of the SME promoters, and
All
not
right.
only they helped me to create a credible platform,
Okay.
but their growth has also inspired many of the promoters to get associated with the SME platform. At the same time, investors have created wealth by investing in those companies, and they become, mouthpiece for the SME platform, and they brought other investors also. But again, sometimes we see that, in a year or two, when the investors make quick money, they start expecting the same quick money in the times to come. That never happens. Okay. So I think if you see all big investors, all large investors, large side, fund houses, or celebrity investors, they never saw the returns from 1 year perspective or 2 years perspective. Their vision has always to get connected with the right company, associated with them for longer tenure, and then create return which is manifold.
All right.
So we have seen those investors. So I think investors need to change their mindset. They should pick good companies, remain invested with them for long term, and then try to get the returns out of it. Otherwise, if they will try to exit quickly, it will also disrupt the market. And many of the companies, you may find that they are not, finding their true values in the market, and it can demotivate the promoters, and he will not give good feedback about the platform to other promoters. So I think this mindset needs to be changed.
All right, sir. My next question is on policy change you would like to see in Indian capital markets. One policy change.
I think a lot of policy has been changed. SEBI is very proactive. It is one of the best regulator in the world. So my view is that policy is changing. I would not like to suggest any policy as such, but I think the investors and all the stakeholders in this marketplace needs to be ethical. Okay, unless until they are ethical, they will not be able to, policy can be made. Okay, but ethics is very much necessary. That can't be, taught to the people. That comes from within. So I think in this market, people need to be ethical, and they need to have a long-term approach. And only then this market can grow in a true sense.
Absolutely, sir. So ethics and verification goes hand in hand. So now let's move on to our next one. One message that every Indian entrepreneur should remember for life.
Entrepreneur always should remember that they should focus in the companies, be transparent, have corporate governance and best practices in the company, due delegation of powers, and right approach to the investors. I think if these things are put in place, the company can move in the right direction with a right momentum. So efficiency is must, corporate governance is must, diligence of power is must, and ethical practices is must. At the same time, promoter need to be aware and alert from all other businesses or disruptions that are coming. They should focus on automation, digitization. That is the need of the hour. They can also use artificial intelligence if it is there. They can focus on renewable energy and use it at the maximum so that they can have lesser carbon footprint, and they should contribute to the social cause of the society, because environment is slowly becoming a big concern.
Moving on to the last segment of this show, the last question is one key takeaway from your book, Vision to Victory, that every SME founder should internalize.
My
Sir.
personal feeling is that not only the promoter, it's my journey. It's the journey of the SME platform. It's the contribution of merchant bankers, SEBI, exchanges, exchanges officials, and promoters believing in us. I think it's the journey of everyone. But one take that everybody can take is that nothing is impossible. Okay, if someone makes up his mind and remain committed to his vision, to his belief, I think nobody can dislodge them. So I think that's the route to success. That believe in yourself, believe in the thought process, and have a right strategy with right ethics. Then only success can be achieved.
All right. So, Ajayji, thank you for sharing your wisdom, experience, and clarity with us today. Your insights reinforce our one powerful message that strong markets are built on a vision, governance, and trust. Before we conclude today's session, let us briefly reflect on some of the key takeaways from this insightful leadership conversation with Mr. Ajay Thakur. What clearly emerged from today's discussion is that India's semi capital market ecosystem has significantly matured. The focus has shifted from merely accessing capital to building credible governance driven and institutionally disciplined businesses. We also heard an important reminder that an IPO is not the destination, it is a milestone. Long term value creation comes from transparency, responsibility, and consistent engagement with investors. Another strong theme was governance as a differentiator. Sustainable growth in public markets depends not just on numbers, but on ethical leadership, quality disclosures, and a culture of compliance. Equally important is the quality of investor participation. Healthy markets are built when informed investors and responsible promoters grow together. Finally, in an era of information overload, the future of capital markets will belong to structured, verified, and trustworthy communication, where clarity replaces noise and credibility becomes currency. To know more and to be part of our journey, please click on the platform link given below. To our viewers, thank you for joining us on this edition of Leadership Conversations, Markets and Growth Champions, exclusively on Bright Exchange. We remain committed to building a transparent, informed, and value driven capital market ecosystem. Stay connected, stay informed. Thank you.